This is Orange Nation Overtime with Steve Infante and Paulie Sibilia.
Welcome into Orange Nation Overtime, everyone. Alongside Paulie Sibilia, I'm Steve Infante. It's a game night here in Syracuse.
Late night game night.
It is a late night. 9 p.m. tip between Syracuse and St. Joseph's. Syracuse hasn't played in more than a week. Last Tuesday was the Tennessee game. Seems like ages ago. It'll be interesting to see how they come out tonight, Paulie, and react to, this whole rest versus rust. It's good they got some rest. Are they going to come out rusty tonight?
Yeah, I think they'll be okay, but I also think it's hard to sit around all day on a game day and not do anything because they're in a hotel.
Right.
Sitting around, nothing to do.
Semester's over.
Yeah, there's no school classes to go to. You're basically just sitting and waiting for game time. I like putting you on the spot, Steve, on our radio show, and I've never done this before. And I ask you your top three what? And you go, I don't want to answer this question. Top three tip times.
For a weeknight?
For any basketball game, top three tip times.
Top three tip times. So I grew up in an era of
noon,
like
right?
Syracuse, Georgetown at noon. Yeah,
I agree.
Noon on a Saturday.
Yeah, I agree
There's
with that.
an electricity and national TV game. That's my preference.
Number one. All right, we're going backwards. So number two tip time.
I mean,
7
for a weeknight it would be 7. Yeah,
all right, now is when you get into the wonky. Is it a midday? Is it a 9? Is it a
I would say on a weekend
4?
From a TV perspective, the 4 is a really bad time for us because we go on the air at 6, right? So the games take about 2 hours. You can't show the highlights until the game has ended. So 4 is an awful time, or like 9 tonight is an awful time because if the game goes
11.
into overtime, or if it spills over, or let's say it starts at 9:12 because the game before spills over, now you're running the risk you might not be able to show highlights. So
2.
2's fine. I was going to say 6 o'clock because then it's like, all right, your newscast just started, but you can't show highlights. You just say, hey, the game's underway. Donnie Freeman didn't start tonight, or whatever the case may be. We'll have highlights at 11.
Gotcha.
So
I don't have to worry about it, so I'll go like the 4 o'clock. Next 2 Saturdays are 4 o'clock, so I'm sorry that's happening to you guys.
It's okay.
Here
we'll
on
survive.
WSYR.
We will survive. This St. Joe's team, we should probably talk about them a little bit. We had Matt Martucci on the show yesterday. He mentioned that they are not a good three-point shooting team. They're making 28% from 3 on the season. That's 343rd in the country. They are a good free throw shooting team, 81%, number 1 in Division I. And, Paulie,
Syracuse is the worst free throw shooting, so it's top versus bottom, Steve, in a battle of free throws.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's hope it doesn't turn into a free throw shooting contest, because that would favor St. Joe's.
Luckily, it's not like soccer, and it comes down penalty to that kicks. At the end.
Yes, penalty kicks. St. Joe's has struggled against the better competition. They got absolutely blown out by Virginia Tech. Lost that one 94-59. Lost by 14 to UNLV 99-85, and then lost a relatively close game against one of their rivals, Penn, 83-74. They did beat Temple, and they beat Drexel. Temple was a 1-point win. Drexel was an 11. You asked on the radio show today, by the way, and we never confirmed it. You said, is Drexel part of the Big Five?
I don't think they are.
So I thought about it, and I said, well, I think they probably are. So here's the result. They were not originally part of the Big Five. They are now considered part of the Big Five as of the 2023-2024 season. Ooh. So there are now actually 6 schools included in the Big Five. It's Penn, LaSalle, St. Joe's, Temple, Villanova. That's the original. And now Drexel is considered part of the Big Five.
So it's like the Big Ten. There's more than 10, but there's
it's the Big Five, but there's actually 6 as of a couple of years ago.
That actually wouldn't be a bad conference if they just all played each other.
I don't know how Villanova would feel about that, but
travel would be cheap. Just walk
Save a lot of money. Right. Save a lot of money on that, certainly. Ken Pom's got this as a 14-point Syracuse win. The line that I saw was 12.5 in some places. I think that the overall consensus is this should be a double-digit win for Syracuse tonight. That's the expectation. We still don't know about Donnie Freeman. John Rothstein is reporting that Donnie is a game-time decision. I think the feeling that you and I both got talking to Adrian Autry yesterday is that his return is not imminent, that he's coming back at some point, but it doesn't sound like it's happening tonight, if I had to guess.
Yeah, I wouldn't hold your breath on it, as one of our guests will be saying in the near future. But I think it's closer than we think. I do think it will be in one of these next 4 games.
Yeah, it would be really nice to get him back a game or two prior to Clemson, work out any kinks, work out the rust, get him back into game action and game speed going into that Clemson game, which is a big opportunity for the Orange. You mentioned that one of our guests talked about it. Let's get to that next. We had the voice of the Orange, Matt Park, on today, and we opened up, talking some basketball with Matt Park and talking this game tonight, his impressions on the St. Joseph's Hawks.
Deuce Jones is a very good guard. Glover is good, just scored 25 points his last game as a transfer down from St. John's. I think it's your typical Northeast city, you think about New York and Philadelphia type of team. Good guards that play hard. They've not excelled defensively to kind of the point you were listing about some of the points they've given up in the games they've played this year. They shoot the three-pointer at a low percentage team-wise, but individuals can get hot. They knocked down 14 threes in their last game. So I think if you come in here thinking, well, they're a 28 or 29% shooting team, you don't want to take them lightly in that regard. You don't become the top free throw shooting team in the country by accident. It has to do with who gets to the line, and they obviously have enough good shooters to carry that to better than 81% as a team. So they're not to be taken lightly. Syracuse is better and should win this game, but I think St. Joe's is an appropriate test for where this falls in the schedule right now.
How do you look at this next stretch before the Clemson game? Obviously we expect them to go undefeated. Do you feel as though like they have to win all these games by double figures? Like, what would be a successful run here in your mind? What would be satisfactory going into the Clemson game?
Yeah, I think that's kind of the expectation. I do think that St. Joe's and Hofstra are a cut above Mercyhurst and Stonehill, but I think that if you were on the coaching staff, you would say win these games by playing the best brand of basketball you can play and with no let up. They want to put the backups in the game and they want to see performance out of them. And, you can't go into the game saying, hey, we're going to dominate. But I do think that that's sort of the expectation, certainly for those next 2 games. These are more sort of, to me, the most intriguing thing about tonight is just how do you come out and what level of effort and energy is there? And it might be off the charts good, right? Having gone 9 days since you've seen an opposing team in the gym. So that could happen. And then sometimes it happens where there's a little sluggishness or it takes a little while to get kind of back up to game speed. That's why I do think it's cool that they have this stretch here. And this typically does not happen at this time of year, but they've got a Thursday, Saturday. That's going to happen in the conference, not specifically Thursday, Saturday, but you're going to have 2 games in a 3-day span. And the games you want to play, that's how it's formatted. 2 games in 3 days. That's the NCAA tournament format. So that's what you're prepping for. And I just think tonight's goal is a good, strong, representative performance, which I do think is probably a double-digit win.
How about the ACC as a whole, Matt? I'm sure you've had a chance, especially during this week-long stretch, to watch some ACC basketball. Who has stood out to you? I mean, there's those 4 teams at the top, right? They've kind of, we think, have separated themselves, Duke and Carolina and Virginia and Louisville. Who in that next group has impressed you the most?
I don't know. I think it's too early to say that. I'm more top of mind for me is the missed opportunities because they've been right there. What if Wake Forest had beaten Michigan and probably should have several weeks ago? Clemson should have beaten BYU, probably. You're up 22 in the second half, and they just didn't have enough. BYU, to its credit, had a great end game, last-second shot to win. And there's been a number of those, because you're going to cut out BC and Georgia Tech and maybe Pitt's down there, a couple others are down there. NC State is a team that's going to be better, I think, over the course of the season than they've shown here at the start. So it will all evolve. And where is Syracuse's place in that? And I think the goal is to be right there in that maybe second tier that's drafting behind the teams that we know are really good.
That was the voice of the Orange, Matt Park. Again, 9 o'clock tip tonight inside the Dome between Syracuse and St. Joseph's. And I think we all are in agreement. Donnie Freeman probably not playing tonight. It would be nice to get him back in time for the Clemson game. And this is why the Clemson game is important. As it stands right now, it is a quad 1 opportunity. it really is their chance at a marquee win for the next 6 weeks. Their next opportunity as it stands right now would probably be NC State on January 27th. So if they don't get the Clemson game, now you're going to go another month before you have another opportunity at one of these. So that Clemson game's important. It's at home. You want to be full strength. It would be really nice to get Donnie back, in advance of that game.
I said on our show, 2 wins over pretty much definite tournament teams going into that weak part of the AC schedule is very important.
Yeah, and I think that if you were an SU fan and you looked at 2025 and you said, you know what, you'll hit New Year's Day with only 3 losses and a win over Clemson and a win over Tennessee, people would have signed up for that in a heartbeat before the start of the season. Speaking of which, I think fans of the SU women's team would have signed up for a 9-1 start in a heartbeat. Their lone loss to a top 10 opponent in Michigan. They've beaten 3 Power 5 opponents, including they got their conference opener taken care of over the weekend against SMU, and they're just, they've beaten some good teams, and they're blowing out the teams they're supposed to blow out, and that happened again last night.
Yeah, they took Colgate behind the woodshed, as the kids would say.
Yeah, 88-42.
Yeah, everybody was playing. You got that out of Coach Jack. Everybody got a chance to play.
Yeah, everybody got a chance to play. Almost everyone scored. Yeah. Sophie Burrows has been shooting the ball better of late. They're getting contributions from everyone. This team has been legitimately fun to watch, and we did have Felicia Leggett-Jack on our show today, and we started her off by asking her what she likes most about this team that's off to a 9-1 start.
Their oneness, their unification, their communication, their ability to do the things off the court, like, helping each other who's having a bad practice or a bad situation. And we had a kid just today that did some extra effort because he wants to get in better shape. And one of our star players, supposedly star players, who came and supported her and watched her run. And that's what we do. We're here for each other. We're creating that sisterhood that, we were part of when we were student athletes here way back when.
Coach, before we get into this year's team and, how good you guys are playing right now, but what was different this year in the offseason for you guys than it was in your past?
Well, I got a lot more involved with recruiting than I was in the past. I actually felt it was important that, with coaches leaving and coming, that you can't turn it all over. And I was a major player in the recruitment. And it's something I used to do. I was a pretty good assistant for 13 years, and I got way involved. And, the conversations went through me. And my coaches did some good things. But, I think it's imperative that as a head coach, you stay locked in and be involved. And so we did a lot of that, and we brought some really good people in. And then I didn't realize that we got 15 players, and about 6 of them never been to New York City. And so we got a bus and we drove down to New York as a team, watched the New York Liberty play a game, and we had that bonding moment in June.
Let's talk about one of those new players since Paulie brought it up, Uche Ezoje, and she's back-to-back winners of the Rookie of the Week award in the ACC Freshman of the Week award. And I heard you say something the other day to Mario that you believe she could be one of the best players ever to play at Syracuse. Can you take us through her recruiting process? How did you find her, and how did you land her at Syracuse?
We found it because you follow every lead, and we got this thing from a bunch of people, AAU coaches, agents, whatever you have. Hey, look at this kid. And when we saw this kid, Coach Sharkey saw this kid, we started laughing, we know she's a pro. There's no way we're going to get this kid. But look at this kid. We're oh, my gosh, she's pretty good. And I said, let's follow the lead till it ends. So our bracelet this year is see it through and say, it's going to end, but let's just kind of find out. Found out. Talked to her agent, and no, she's going to be eligible to play. I'm like, oh, crap. And then we stayed with it, and we got some significant NIL money from our administration, and we locked in. And Coach Sharkey ended up going to head coach at University at Buffalo, and I just made this my personal project to see this thing through. And what I found out about her, more so than her basketball, she's a better person than she's an athlete. It almost got to a point where I needed to have this kid be in my space because I needed to help her. She needed to see what it's like to be a kid again because she came from Nigeria at 14 to Japan, and she's never had a chance to be a kid. And I needed somebody in her life that's going to adult her. and I chose me. And so we fought like heck to get her there. Our compliance person got really involved. Steve did a tremendous job of making certain that we didn't do anything wrong. We dotted every I, we crossed every T, and we got really blessed with just an incredible human being who can actually play this game at a high level.
That's a great story, Coach. I do want to ask you about one of your returning players, and that's Sophie Burrows, and it's been well documented, of course, that she got off to a slow start this year shooting the basketball, but she's been doing everything else well, and then these last 2 games now, she's come alive. She had 5 threes against SMU, 3 more last night. Can you kind of speak to the transition she's had to make with her game, with her role on the team, with the trying to integrate with the new players coming in, and how she's handled this whole process through 10 games?
Love this kid. This kid is one of those kids that understand my system, my way. When I'm ready to level up with my intensity of purpose, or when I'm getting a little bit too silly and trying to hang out too much with those guys, she gets the pulse of who I am and what we're trying to create here. I think that at the beginning of the year, with so many new players, 8 new players and new coaches, I kind of leaned on her a lot, and she kind of felt that kind of presence that I had for her. And she made certain all the little things got done correctly. The defensive slides, the offense, and how we need to move, and how we set screens, and how we communicate to each other. And all that became the most important thing and impactful thing for her. And defensively, she was killing it. But offensively, she couldn't find her way. And I just said that, good things are going to happen to you because you're doing it for the right reasons. She's getting in the gym. We got practice at 7 in the morning. She's there at 6 a.m. every single morning. And so it's just a matter of when it was going to happen. But it's not, oh, my God, is it going to ever happen? And now she's our Sophie that can be guarded on both sides of the ball. She can defend and she can shoot that thing.
You look at this team, Coach, and it feels very much like a team that kind of embodies the style of play that you want. Strong rebounding, defense, forcing a lot of turnovers, getting up and down. How important is that for you to get back to this kind of team that, kind of fits the identity that you wanted to bring here to Syracuse?
Blue collar, yeah. That's what, everything you have to go take. Nobody's going to give you anything. And there's some things you're going to expect to be yours, and it's going to be a fight too. And that's why we always say we fight on, because I want our young ladies to understand you don't have to surrender to anyone because they say, no, you don't deserve. Let's go figure out how to earn it and then take it. And that's my mindset. That's my mentality. That's the microcosm of life that I want these young ladies to understand. You have the right to be the president of anything. You have the right to be a national championship champion. How do you get there? You take it every possession, defensively and with each other. Don't leave your sister behind. And they embody that this year. They're really fighting to create that this year. Our 3 captains are 100% all in. And if you're not all in when you're part of the other gang, they're going to call you out, and we're going to make certain we make some decisions on that.
We saw all 15 players get in the game last night in an 88-42 win over Colgate. You had double-digit players score last night. How exciting is that for you as a coach that, maybe some of the players that don't get a lot of time in the games that go down to crunch time, for everybody to get a chance to play and perform and, put all the hard work and practice into action in a game? I would imagine that's kind of a feel-good win that, everybody can take pride in, the players and the coaches as well.
I was sleeping by 11 o'clock last night. Because, as a coach, you really want everybody to have a great day. And you can win games and you see 2 or 3 kids they just want to play, man. They have a scholarship. They did the work. It just didn't warrant their moment to come out there and play. I think about that. I carry that with me at home. And last night to see all the smiles and everybody excited about the moment that we had as a team, it gives me the opportunity to just say, let me just put my head on this pillow and call it a night. And that's what it was like. And I love these young ladies. These are my daughters, man. And I want the success to be. And in a day that you don't have a good showing with one of the players, the parents start getting in, everybody getting involved. Last night, no calls, no nothing, just sleep time, 11 o'clock p.m.
Yeah, that must have been very nice. I've asked you about a few of the individual players. I do want to ask you about Dominique Darius before we look ahead now. And she's been so good. I love watching her play. 10 more assists last night. And can you, talk a little bit about her style of play and what she brings to the table for you guys?
She's a winner. She's been a winner since I've known her when she was at Blair Academy as a high school kid. She went to 2 different schools, and one thing about her, you gotta let her be calm. She's a fiery person. She's an intense person. To me, I though she went to a private school, she's an inner city kid that really is gonna chest up with a lot of things. She's gonna chest up on the court. She's gonna question the coach a little bit, and you gotta listen and hear what she's asking. And I've been wanting this kid on 3 different occasions. Got lucky on the 3rd try. I am so blessed to be able to coach a young lady like her who is going to do the work. And the more you pour into her and believe in her, the more she's going to become the person that you know she's going to be. She is our leader. She's the one that holds the ball in her hand. And I tell you one thing, I put this whole team, she got the keys to our Mercedes, and I like the way we're going. I think that she's going to be the one that kind of settles us down to become what we're supposed to become.
Coach, you already played 1 ACC game. You got 2 games before you get into the thick of the schedule. What's the one thing you want your team to improve on before you get to the ACC?
Improve on becoming a better person that stands in the moment, and that's kind of cliche, but a lot of people like to go beyond the moment. And I think this team is so special. I don't want to lose any second of it. I really do believe in what we're creating is a good thing with the coaching staff and everybody that's connected to our team. Just stay locked into the moment. And if we can do that and not look beyond Binghamton and then get ready for Mercyhurst when that time comes, you know what? It's too much heat in that ACC. Let's not rush to it. I see the fire down the road. I ain't got to go, hey, let me go see what's happening down there. I need to say, hey, let the fire department take care of that. Let us kind of hang out over here where there's no fire, right? And so I just want us to understand that. And I want to have fun. I want to be silly. I want to love them. Now, when that fire come, we'll go through that fire because I'll be the first one to go through it. And we're going to be ready for them. But right now, we're just excited about where we are right now, 9-1, playing good basketball, loving up on each other, and enjoying them every single second of this journey.
Speaking of wanting to have fun, that was a fun thing you guys did last night with the ugly Christmas sweater night. Did you have a favorite that you saw as you were maybe looking around before or after the game?
I just thought that Coach Adair went too far. At least he had the whole Christmas tree on, and then she had bells, and it was so funny. And then the worst thing about it, she got hot. She had to take it off.
That's what she gets, right?
I kept trying to put the sweater back on her, and she was like, take this thing off me. and then Dominique wore the sweater to the press conference. So I just love what we're doing. The fight is intense in practice. The story is your dreams are in the balance. But when we got time to have some fun, we're a team that's going to laugh it up and muck it up with each other. So I just thought it was a great idea. Everybody got into the sweater thing. I think Liv does a great job of putting these little things together, and we'll follow her lead to the end. So she said, ugly sweater. We just all went to the store. I got mine from Marshall. The first thing I saw, it fit. I just threw it on.
Coach, another fun thing coming up is next Friday you've got the school game where the kids can come out and watch your game. What does that mean for you to have those kids there at those games?
Pure joy. Pure joy. These are my kids, my city, my town, and they're all going to come and be loud, and they're not going to watch probably 4 minutes of the game, but that's not the point. They're going to be with their team friends, their classmates. I think we're expecting 10,000 kids for this game. I am so looking forward to that. I try not to look ahead, but if I have to look ahead, I'm going to look ahead for the kids and see the young ladies do their thing, and in front of those young ladies, and maybe 4 or 5 kids in that crowd is going to see somebody on that basketball court and say, I want to become, because I was there and I saw what they've done, and I think I too can become. So all those messages are out there for that particular game, but I can't wait. That should be a lot of fun. Thank all the community forming, because I know it's going to take a lot of volunteers to make this thing happen. We don't take for granted your time. Your time is the most precious thing you can have. For all those volunteers to be a part of this thing and help us make it happen, grateful, gracious, and we're going to do our part by showing a good game.
That was Felicia Leggett-Jack joining us on the Orange Nation radio show. Again, their next game, Tuesday night, at home against Binghamton. If you haven't had a chance to watch this team play, they're a lot of fun to watch. It's a good product. They've got 4 straight home games coming up, so hopefully people can get out there and support this team, Paulie.
That's right, Steve. And I got something for you. Two things, actually. She brought up the ugly sweater game. Do you own an ugly Christmas sweater?
I don't know that I do.
I think I only own 3 sweaters.
Sweaters?
And overall. A lot of flannels.
Does that include the quarter zips?
I don't own a quarter zip.
Wow. See, that's like I told you, that's my uniform. My kids make fun of me.
I own 4 sweaters that I can think of.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
I'm not a big sweater guy.
I don't know of an ugly sweater that
And when I do wear it, I wear it like a vice principal, and I wear it over a shirt and tie if I'm going to wear it.
Okay.
All right. Cartoon fact today, Steve, came up on our radio show, ESPN 97.7 and 100.1, noon to 2 in Syracuse, 96.5 in Utica, if you're watching.
QSportsTalk.com.
Someone referred to you as me as Fred Flintstone and you as the Great Gazoo. And you didn't know who he was, so I'll give you a little info on him. He's a green, powerful alien from the planet Zetox, exiled to prehistoric Earth because he created a doomsday device, and only children and animals could see him. So it must mean that Barney and Fred had the mentality of children because they could see him. He was created in order to boost ratings and voiced by Harvey Korman, but he had what we like to refer to on our radio show as the Scrappy-Doo effect. And he dropped ratings, and people found him annoying and causing what at that point was before it happened, but Fred Flintstone and the Flintstones to jump the shark.
I think we coined the Scrappy-Doo effect.
Yeah.
And I think it's very much a thing.
Yes, but technically the Great Gazoo happened first.
Right. Correct.
So
does anybody like Scrappy-Doo? I mean, I wonder if our
old producer Jordan liked him, but he was young.
He was younger, right? It might be a generational thing. People in our generation, I think, traditionally don't like Scrappy-Doo.
We don't like change because it happened in the. Remember Cousin Oliver on the Brady Bunch?
Yes,
Everybody's like, get that jerk out of here. We don't like that guy.
Right. Just give us what we want.
From? Yeah. And then they added like weird kids to different strokes, and we're just like, Say what you're talking about and save that kid with a bowl cut for later. Different show.
All right, we got to go. It's a game day. Paulie's very busy. I'm very busy on a game day, but Paulie's very busy on a game day. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching, everybody. 9 o'clock tip tonight. We'll talk about it tomorrow. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.
Download the WSYR Plus app on your TV to stream News Channel 9 for free. Just go to your smart TV, search WSYR Plus in the App Store, and download to start streaming today.